I was born in Peru and I left when I was little. My parents, my brother and I left together and went to live in Spain. I grew up in Barcelona and later I studied in America and in England. I worked in finance. For me, a good way to gain independence quickly, but I had always loved the arts. I thought I might one day follow a path in art, though it seemed too abstract, too uncertain to make a living. So I went into banking. I was successful. I did well, but my life felt empty. It lacked meaning. So I decided to take a trip around the world to see if I could find something more. That journey changed me. I learned many things about the world and about myself, but when I came back, all my money was gone. So I returned to banking, this time with a different awareness. I knew it was only for a while. I no longer wanted to live in a world built on speculation, a world without purpose. One day, late at night at the office, I went into the bathroom and saw the cleaning women at work. And I realized that I was educated, well paid, but trapped just like them. Unless I found my own way, unless I wrote my own script. So I did. I returned to the country where I was born to build something of my own, a life of freedom, of joy, of connection to art and to humanity, and a way of giving back. During my trip around the world, I saw many things that stayed with me. And I began to feel that much of what I was learning could one day be applied to Peru. At that time, Peru was still awakening from years of crisis and fear. Tourism was almost non-existent, and the few companies that did exist worked in the old way. But I sensed possibility, a quiet opening, a chance to bring something new to life. Those thoughts followed me as I traveled, as I met people, watched landscapes unfold, and gathered inspiration. So when I returned to Peru, I began by traveling across it. I knew that was the only way to understand it. I had left so young that this wasn't a rediscovery, it was a discovery. I saw Peru for the first time, with both the heart of someone who belonged and the eyes of a traveler. I crossed the country by bus, went to its festivals, met its people, and slowly a vision began to take shape. I named it Arakari after a small bird I found in a book. I registered the name, set up the company, and began. The beginnings weren't easy. Peru was a closed market then. People were not used to abundance, and any disruption was met with resistance, especially from a young woman in a male-dominated world. But I prevailed. Back in London, surrounded by friends who believed in me, I created a small catalog, a way to share what I had seen and imagined. It was a time of change. The internet was just beginning, and I knew that a new world was starting to open. So I built Arakari. In 1997, I launched one of the first travel websites in Peru, and began offering journeys through a country that I was only just beginning to know, but that had always been part of me. When I founded Arakari, I wasn't thinking about setting up a business in the traditional sense. What I wanted was a change of life and a different way of doing business. I imagined a model rooted in care, where well-being, respect, and reciprocity would flow in every direction, where everyone involved, from traveler to guide to artisan to host, could benefit from the encounter. Tourism, I felt, had to include the local people and the local environment, not as decoration, but as its living essence. Because the moment you exploit or erode what gives a place its soul, its landscapes, its communities, its culture, the experience loses meaning. It stops being transformative, and for me, travel must transform. It must open something within us, awaken curiosity, gratitude, humility. This philosophy of care guides how we build long-term partnerships, how we select collaborators who share our values, and how we support projects that regenerate their environments and empower their communities. It's a slower, more thoughtful way of working. Sustainability to me is not a label or a strategy, it's a way of seeing. A belief that everything is interconnected: people, places, time, and purpose. When we travel with awareness, we give as much as we receive. And when we act with care, we leave behind more than footprints. We leave understanding, respect, and connection. That, I believe, is what makes travel truly meaningful. And that is what Arakari has always been about.